Kim speaking from 10 Sigma. Welcome to episode 103 of Transition Tuesday. Today I will be talking about working with advocates. Right now I'm going to switch over to a short slide presentation to share this information.
In today's video, I will be discussing the different types of advocates and some tips for working with them. The dictionary defines an advocate as a person who speaks or writes in support or defense of a person or a cause. The different types of advocates could include a professional advocate. This is a person who is hired by the parent or guardian to advocate on the student's behalf. Sometimes they charge a fee if they're in private practice, and sometimes they can be accessed through a parent training and information center. There are also family and friend advocates. This is a person's family member or friend of the family that plays a part in advocating on the student's behalf. There is also self-advocacy. This is a student speaking out for themselves to express their own needs and interests. Here are some general tips for working with advocates. Although working with advocates can be challenging, it can also be rewarding. A parent or guardian sometimes brings an advocate for a variety of reasons. For example, they may feel like they're not being heard or respected, or they're not getting what is wanted or needed for their child. An advocate might also be brought in to help the parent and/or student understand the special education process. Advocates can also be part of a conflict resolution process. The key thing to remember is that you are all working together as a team to meet individual needs of the student. Specific tips for working with advocates before the IEP meeting include making sure that you have a release of information signed by the parent, guardian, or student if they're at the age of majority. Identify and lay out an agenda. And organize and have available all documentation needed and all data that has been collected about the student. Some tips for working with advocates at the IEP meeting include making sure parents and advocates feel welcome. Have everyone introduce themselves and explain why they are there. Use the agenda to identify the tasks for the meeting and expectations, along with the time frame for completion of the meeting. Make sure you listen and communicate effectively. Have specific materials on hand if you're going to be referencing them. This includes curriculum. And assure the team that you, the school, want to work collaboratively with them to identify an appropriate plan for the student. Tips for working with advocates after the IEP meeting include following through with completion of the paperwork, identifying what was discussed in the meeting, making contact with the parent to make sure they don't have any continued questions, identify any suggestions of things that can be done in the home to help the student be successful, and monitor progress of what was discussed. For today's bonus, I'll be sending you information and resources for working with advocates.
Thank you for watching the video. I hope you use this information to successfully work with advocates. Be sure to check your email for the bonus we just sent over. If this is the first time you've ever seen an episode of Transition Tuesday, click the link below to receive the bonus. Be sure to like and share the video and leave a comment or suggestion for a future episode of Transition Tuesday. Have a great week. See you next Tuesday.